Hi Andy, Cerdine from BBC Scotland. Hope you're well. Just how much more is there to give from Scotland in this second match, and just to give us a wee insight into how difficult the past few days have been, but how big the determination is to right the wrongs, if you like, from the Alliance Arena?
Yeah, look, obviously the other night wasn't easy. Came up against a really good team and we didn't show up the way we wanted to, and that always makes it difficult when you come up against one of the best in the world. And yeah, we got punished for it, that's for sure. So obviously there was a lot of disappointed faces come Saturday morning, but we gave the lads till night time to get over it, and then we moved on because in tournament football you have our next game round the corner, and we want to try and show up the way we believe that we can, the way we believe that Scotland can play, and I don't think we've done that the other night. So we need to try and do that. We need to try and play to our strengths, and try and play a lot better than what we did in pretty much every area, because I think we know we didn't do our best in all positions on Friday, and hopefully that's different come tomorrow night.
Spoken really openly the other day at the press conference. He was the one who said, I want to be the one to talk to everyone after it. He spoke about his role in, he said, trying to give you guys too much information. Have you noticed a change in that over the last couple of days, and did you feel super clear on what it is you need to do against Switzerland?
Yeah, look, I think everyone assessed themselves probably after that game, and maybe the gaffer was a bit harsh on himself. I think, yeah, okay, if he believes he gave us too much information, but I believe the information was clear. And I just think, maybe the occasion got to a couple of us. Maybe just some of us didn't have our best games, but I just don't think we went to the pitch and done what we've done to get here. And I think that was the disappointing from a player's point of view. Now, the manager and his coaches will also analyse themselves and see what maybe they could have done better. But from a player's point of view, we had to look at ourselves, and I think everyone done that. I think everyone took that day on Saturday to look at them own selves, not pointing fingers at anyone else. And I think we all done that and came to a better place for it. And come Saturday night, we had a meeting on it, and then Sunday we were good to go and kind of move on from it and try and look ahead to this game, because look, it's a fantastic tournament to play in. We've worked so hard to get here, and we want to enjoy it as much as we can, but the only way by doing that is by playing the football that we believe that we can play. And we didn't do that Friday night, and now we've got 2 more chances to do that to try and stay in this tournament.
Andy and Gabriel from Radio Clyde, just in terms of the game tomorrow, obviously there's pressure, especially when you're at a tournament like this, but do you feel that there's more pressure on the team given what happened on Friday and the fact that you probably need a result, or do you think it's the other way, there's less pressure given the scale of the result, perhaps you can play with more freedom? What do you think?
I think we know what we have to do. We know what we have to do differently. But yeah, I think probably, maybe people on the outside didn't hold much hope for us anyway, and maybe that took even more of a knock on Friday. But we have a firm belief in our squad that we have quality within, and we can do the things that we didn't do on Friday night. And if we do that, then we become a better team, and we showed that in qualifying campaign, and that's what we need to get back to. That's what we've been working on, and we worked on it before the Germany game as well. But I do think there was 2 sides to the Friday night. I think the big part was we didn't show up properly, but I also thought we seen a very, very good team perform at the highest level in front of their home fans opening their tournament. And I think it was always going to be difficult for us, but I think we made it even more difficult for us by not showing up the way that we expected to. And I think that's why the result was what it was. But we can't dwell on it. We have to move on from it now, and we've got another game round the corner, and that's what's good about this tournament. The game, you don't have to wait too long. And yeah, hopefully tomorrow night, people see the Scotland that we believe in, and if we do that, then that gives us the best possible chance for a positive result.
Shanley from Sky Sports. Andy, how much is it tomorrow about mentality, and how much is it about game plan? And also, can you tell us a bit about your leadership role and what you've had to do in the last few days to pick the boys up?
Yeah, like I says, I said to all the lads, I says I would give them till Saturday dinner time to get over any disappointment they felt, any anger, any whatever they were feeling at that time, and then it was time to move on. It was time to draw a line under it, and obviously the manager had a meeting of stuff that we didn't do so well and stuff that we had to improve on, and he gave the same message after that meeting of, okay, we've done it, we've said what we had to say. We had a couple of discussions around certain clips and things like that, and we always have the discussions, and they were had, and then it was time to draw a line under it because we can't dwell on it for too long. We've got 2 massive games now in this group, and we know we have to do better, and that was what our full focus was on come Sunday morning. But it's important that you analyse it, it's important you see what you've done wrong, and it's important that that's pointed out to you, and it was in a very clear way, and then we moved on from it, and we tried to correct that on the pitch on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and hopefully we can show that tomorrow night.
And Ronnie Esplin, PA, from the highs of the results and performances against Spain and Norway, what's been missing, would you think needs to be found again?
I think we just have to get back to being us. I don't think we've been ourselves. We definitely weren't ourselves on Friday, and we need to realise what got us the results in the past and what was, what we were good at when we went to the pitch, because the message off the pitch hasn't changed. It's just on the pitch we maybe probably have to get back to doing that, trusting ourselves within the game, trusting each other, whoever's next to you, and if we do that, then we're a better team for it. And I think you've seen that in abundance in the qualifying campaign. You've seen a team that was full of belief and ready to fight for each other and ready to go for every single ball. And maybe on Friday we played a wee bit with fear, which we didn't want, but look, it's easy to talk about it. It's harder to put in place, and it's not an easy game opening the tournament against the host country, I'll tell you that, but we had enough experience on the pitch where we should have maybe done better, and I think we all know that, and I think the whole country know that. But like I says, I don't want to keep bringing up Friday because now we're looking forward. We don't want to look back too much. We want to look forward. We've got a big game coming up tomorrow night, which we're all excited about, and we want to show, this tournament what Scotland are all about. And like I says, if we do that, then I believe that's the best way that we can get a result.
Andy, no footballer ever says they play for a draw, but how do you balance the fact that a point might actually be okay out of this game tomorrow with the fact that 3 points would actually put us in a really strong position and completely banish the memory of Friday night?
It's not really been discussed with us, to be honest, because we've had too much to probably discuss from Friday night, but it's about us showing up as a performance level, and I think that's always the way we've done it. We believe that if we perform on the day and whoever the opponent we're playing, then that gives us the best possible chance to get a win or to get a draw or whatever the result it needs to be. But I think that comes down to game management within the game. I think you see how the game's going, and then you kind of make the decisions of, all of us experienced players, also the manager with maybe the subs he makes and things like that of, okay, are we in a position to settle for a draw? Are we in a position to go for the win? Do we need to get back in the game? And I think that just happens on the night naturally. But, whatever results or whatever hasn't been discussed, it's all about being performance levels. It's all about, okay, how do we make everything better? Because, we can improve on pretty much everything we did on Friday night, and we can improve it by quite a bit. And if we do that, then like I says, it will give us the best possible chance to be together, to get 3 points, to get 1 point, whatever that may be on the night. But we have to focus on performance levels. We have to raise them from Friday night, and we have to show that we're a lot better than that. And if we do that, then, hopefully that's enough to get a result, whichever that may be.
Scott Mullen, BBC Scotland. Andy, you mentioned the word fear there in the performance on Friday. Does that surprise you, given the experience of yourself and a lot of the other players in the squad now have at club level and also international level? And how sure are you that that nervousness or fear is out of the system going into tomorrow night?
Yeah, look, I think in terms of probably especially the first 10 minutes against Germany, I think they surprised us a little bit. I think, there was quite a lot of balls in behind and things like that, and they kind of, we discussed that they pushed their back line back, which meant then we were too deep. It meant the midfield had to be too deep. It meant Shea was up there isolated on his own, and we weren't good enough on the ball, so we couldn't catch a break with it either, and we couldn't quite build ourselves into the game up the pitch. And when you do that against a really good team, you're just waiting to really get punished, because they had so much quality on the pitch that night that, when they were in front of goal, they were pretty clinical as well. So it was difficult, but you can never tell how the game's going to go until you're actually in there. And trust me, we tried to sort it out on the pitch. There was discussions going on and things, but at the end of the day, when you don't have the ball and you can't quite get up to them, and you've got a player like Tony Kroos which is dictating the game, it's very hard to get then on top of him. And then, look, everything kind of just unravelled, getting a sent off penalty just before half time, and You know, second half I thought the lads dug really deep. It wasn't pretty because we were one man less, but I thought we defended as a unit, we defended strong, and yes, we couldn't quite get up the pitch, but it was going to be difficult with 11 men, never mind 10. But the damage was already done in the first half, and it was just about trying to survive in the second half. And, you know, we'd done that to an extent, but, you know, the scoreline wasn't good enough, and we know that. And, you know, that's what we definitely want to improve.
Could we take some questions from the Swiss media at all? At the back of the room? Anyone interested? And if anyone's following us remotely, if you could put your hand up, your virtual hand up, we'll come to you in a couple of questions. So, is that okay?
Hi, Christian Finkbeiner from Blick, Switzerland. What do you expect from the Swiss team? How do you see it? Strengths, weaknesses?
I thought they were excellent on Saturday. We watched the game. I thought they were really good. And yeah, look, in terms of Switzerland, they're a bit of a you know, template for what we want to become. They've been excellent in tournaments at the past. They've already got off to a very good start. This tournament, and obviously slightly bigger population than our country, but not massive difference. And you know, they've got a team full of quality. You know, we know the players that you know, playing at the highest level, and you know, you guys have got a really good team. That's for sure. And I think you showed that on Saturday. And like I says, we need to be at our best again to try and get anything you know, off Switzerland. And if we do that, we do believe that we can try and get a result. But they'll also be full of belief, full of confidence, and rightly so after what they did on Saturday. But we have to show what we're about. We have to show what Scotland's about. And if we do that, then we believe that hopefully we can cause them problems, and we can get a bit further up the pitch and you know, cause them problems in the box and things like that. But it's not going to be easy. They're a really good team, you know, and that's why we go into it full of, you know, we're confident that we can get a result, but we're also, you know, full of praise of Switzerland. But like I says, maybe a wee bit of fear came in on Friday, and you know, we'll be trying to make sure that that doesn't happen tomorrow.
Any other questions from the Swiss media? What can we do? Okay, if we take this gentleman here on the left, please, Isabel.
Hi, Andy Scott for the Daily Record. There was a lot of talk before the Germany game, Andy, a lot of hype around it. Is there a feeling within the squad that talk is cheap now? You need to go and deliver tomorrow night. There can be no excuses.
Yeah, look, I could sit up here and talk to you all night. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to make a difference. And yeah, look, it's easy to talk about a game of football before or after the game, whatever you want, but it's not as easy to go out and do it. And that's what we have to focus on. We need action. Obviously, there was a lot of talk after the game as well. A lot of people critical, and yeah, a lot of people probably from the outside couldn't wait to kind of dip into it. And yeah, so that's fine for them. They get paid to do that, and we respect that. But now we have to act. You know, we have to be on the pitch, and we have to do a lot better on the pitch, and that's what we're focused on. You know, like I says, I can talk about the game ahead tomorrow. You know, I could sit up here for hours and hours and talk about it, but it's not going to make much difference. We need to be confident that we can perform to our highest level, and if we do that, then I believe that we can cause any team problems. And we've always kind of believed that. We've shown that in the past, but we need to get back to showing it. That's for sure. And if we do that, then hopefully we can talk after tomorrow night's game, and it'll be a bit happier chat. But yeah, look, there was maybe a bit of hype around us in our own country, and people excited, and we love that, and we hope they're excited again tomorrow. But we have to try and give them something to shout about, because the support we had on Friday was right up there with the best I've had. And we let them down. We know we did, and it wasn't easy, and we didn't give them much to shout about. But even then, they still supported us right to the end, and we appreciate that massively. And you know, come tomorrow and the next game, we'll, you know, hopefully give them a bit more to shout about.
Okay, if anyone remotely wants to raise their hand, we'll take that as a last question. Let's give it a couple of seconds. Who else, please? No, so let's finish there, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Luke Shanley from Sky Sports. Steve, we know you need at least a point. How do you balance off being more of an attacking threat this time around, but making sure you're much stronger at the back?
No, I think to go into the game and think you only need a point is dangerous. We go there to win. We go there to be as positive as we can, and then we see where that takes us. Like I said, it's more about making sure we perform as well as we can play. And if we do that, then I'm pretty confident we'll get something from the game.
Hello, Connie McLaughlin, ITV.
Hello, Connie.
Hello. You were really honest with us a couple of days ago just about your own reflections. You've had a couple more days to think about it. What do you think you've learned about you and yourself as a coach, Steve, in the last few days that maybe you didn't know before?
Just thinking about my team, really, what I can do to help them. Any personal reflections I'll do after the tournament.
Anyone else?
Keith Jackson. Thank you. Keith Jackson, Daily Record. Steve, do you get the impression from the chats that you've had and you know, being around the players over the last 24 hours in particular, that they're itching to go, that you know, they're bursting to get back out and try and put a few things right?
Obviously, they want to go back to the pitch and play better. So I think that's pretty standard when you play so poorly and you let yourself down. You want to go out and make amends. So that's where their mentality is.
Robert.
Hi, Steve. Robert Grieve from The Sun. I'm just wondering, do you rate this as the biggest game you've had as Scotland manager?
I think I've always said before, that's for the end of my career. I'll decide when I'm finished whether it's the biggest game or the biggest game ever in my career. So it's not really a question that I've ever answered before, and I'm not going to start now.
Steve McGowan, Daily Mail. Can I ask how big a challenge does Switzerland pose in this game tomorrow?
Yeah, big challenge. Good team. They have a lot of good players, very strong through the spine of the team, defend well, don't give too much away, and good pace up front. So we expect a difficult night.
Any questions from the Swiss media at all, please? This gentleman here, please.
Good evening, Florian Ratz, Tamedia. The Hungarian coach admitted that he was surprised by Murat Yakin because the Swiss coach played differently than he used to play before. How do you expect the Swiss? Do you even think you can prepare the match? Will they play like they played in the qualification? Will they play like against Hungary? How do you expect them? Because we don't know, Swiss media.
I think with the way they tweaked the system, I don't think it was a radical change, but there was definitely a little tweak in the system and how they use certain players within that system. Whether they used that specifically for the Hungarians or whether they've got something up their sleeve for us, we won't know until we get to the pitch. So we have to be prepared for anything. We have to be as well prepared as we can be. We think we are.
Can we just check your team news, who's fit, who's not, and also can we expect changes tomorrow? I know you're not going to give me your team, much as I would love you to, but can we expect changes tomorrow in personnel?
Everyone fit and available. Obviously, Ryan Porteous doesn't play, so you can expect at least one change. At least one.
Any other questions from the Swiss media?
Go on, Ronnie.
Steve, could just ask you about Ryan Porteous and the 2-game ban. What was your thoughts on that?
I haven't really got any. He's suspended. I covered this on Sunday.
If we can just, this gentleman here, please.
Steve, Etienne Vuillemin from Switzerland as well. Can you compare Toni Kroos and Granit Xhaka, or is Toni Kroos one or more levels above him?
Try to get him into trouble. No, listen, two very similar players. Similar in terms of the style of play, how they dictate or control the game for their team. So we understood that Toni Kroos was a key player for Germany. We didn't handle him very well. So we know that Granit Xhaka is a key player for Switzerland, and hopefully we handle him a little bit better.
If there's anyone just remote, I was going to say, just sorry, if there's anyone remotely, please put your hand up and we'll come to you. Darren, you choose.
If not, we'll have last question from the back. Did you have your hand up? Yeah.
Hi, Steve. Shaban here from TalkSport. Just very quickly, How important is it for the players to channel their emotions properly tomorrow? And is that something that you worked on this week in training? If so, how did you work on that?
No, I think it's always important for players to keep their emotions in check, to understand what we need to get from the game, to understand how we have to approach the game. We didn't start very well at all in Germany, so after 7 minutes we're chasing the game. After 20 minutes it's looking like a long night. So we have to make sure we start well, do better, and make sure we get a good foothold in the game right from the start.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much, Steve,
Thank you.
Darren. Thank you.